Aloha, fine people of planet Earth. In this moment, in this incredible time, we're all here right now, we're all alive, we're the best of our species. We've survived hundreds of thousands of years of war, disease, evolution, everything. It's so important for us to remember and realize that the humans that are alive right now are the ones that have made it through so much. So don't ever forget how incredible it is that you're here, that we're all here. We're here sharing the same time period, that we're all here at the same time, and we're on this planet. This is our home. It's like our spaceship. We're all here. We're all in the same boat. And it's just crazy. It's amazing. And anyway, aloha. Yeah. So here's a gift that I received from my incredible cousin, who is a professional medicine man, and for many years has been helping a lot of people, and in recent years has gotten into conducting ceremonies with various different plant medicines, ayahuasca and San Pedro, just to mention a few, just to mention a few of the ones that he works with. But if any of you are ever in Arizona or plan on visiting and are interested in doing a ceremony with him, I cannot recommend him. He's an incredible person, incredible human, powerful individual, and a musician. And music is a big part of his ceremonies. And he's helped many people, and he continues to do so. And he recently sent me this as a gift, and it has just transformed my life. It just improved the quality of my life by at least 20 to 30%. And I use it for meditating, and it sounds beautiful. It's very simple to use, and I highly recommend it for anyone, even if you're not musical, to pick up one of these. Maybe you can even pick up one from him, from his store. I'll put links down below if anyone's ever interested in working with him. But here's what it sounds like. It's really beautiful. So the video that in this video, I'm gonna be talking about change something, make an adjustment, right? If if you're sort of in a rut, or you're not happy with something, you're trying to get over um, a loss, a breakup, something difficult. If you're transitioning but you're finding it difficult, you're feeling stuck, you're feeling just not happy, you're not happy with your life, with your path, the path that you're on. The first thing I want to say about that is it's normal. Okay? This is a part of us as humans. It's built, I believe, in our DNA, at an instinctual level. We always want more. It's what drives us to grow. If we were satisfied with everything, then like if, let's say, we're all Buddhist monks and we're just practicing gratitude constantly, and we were just 100% satisfied with the way things were, then it removes that incredible driving force for us, the need to grow. So having dissatisfaction in our life is normal. There's nothing wrong with it. Okay, so that's the first thing I want to say. You know, you guys hear me talking always about how it's important to have this balance between gratitude and goals, right? Most of our society are extreme in the goals side of things. People just want more. They're always wanting more. And when they hit those goals, when they achieve that gold medal, when they achieve the money, the house, the wife, the husband, you know, the girlfriend, the boyfriend, when they achieve all that, they realize not very long after that there's still this unhappiness and dissatisfaction, right? So eliminating the dissatisfaction and unhappiness comes from gratitude. Gratitude is the most simple and powerful way to just become happier and be at peace. Practicing gratitude. What's going to be difficult with that practice is comparing, right? Comparing what others are doing or what you think you should be doing. Comparing where you are now, which is gratitude, accepting and being grateful for every little thing. And there's hundreds of things, thousands of things. It's endless, the things to be grateful for. What helps us be grateful is when we experience difficulty, when we experience illness, when we're sick, then we become grateful for being healthy. So if you've ever experienced anything difficult, mostly what I have found on my journey, I'm sure a lot of you as well, is that the people who are most grateful and usually very positive and have a good energy, good sense, are the ones that have experienced the most difficulty in life because they appreciate more every little thing that they have. So if you're going through difficulty, understand that it's a gift because the teachings that you will gain from the difficulty is to be grateful for every little thing you have. So gratitude is our source. It's a very simple source of feeling happy and comfortable and content and at peace. And goals are what drive us to excel and to achieve and to grow and to evolve and to improve. But being extreme in goals, as I said, can also bring a lot of suffering. So there's this misconception with maybe 95% of humans that it's the goals that are going to make you happy, right? Hitting the goals, getting the gold medals. But time after time, if you study and research and go into the life of people that have achieved a lot of their goals, world champions, for example, fighting champions, gold medalists in the Olympics, or successful business people, they're not necessarily happy. And when they hit those goals, a lot of these champions, they can become depressed and feel like they don't have a purpose. So it's worth investigating and studying. And in this video, again, at the risk of rambling on as I usually do, I want to focus on this phrase, change something. Change something in your life if you're not happy with where things are going. If you're just banging your head in the same wall over and over, nothing's going to change, right? So you've got to take a different path, change something. We see this a lot with fighters. Fighters might be on a losing streak and they've been knocked out repeatedly. They've lost 3, 4 fights in a row, and then something changes. They suddenly come back and they're totally different. They're a new fighter and they start winning. And we see this a lot. You see it in the UFC, you see it in boxing, you see it in all martial arts. And what happens is they change something. And when you change something in your life, you're giving yourself an excuse, a deep psychological reason that you may not even be aware of. It may be subconscious, but you're giving yourself that excuse, that reason to allow yourself to grow and to change and to be different. So it could be for a fighter that they're going to change their gym, or they're going to change their coach, or change their trainer. or change the city that they live in, the town, even change the country. Fighters are incredible to study because whether they're female or male fighters, they undergo such hell, constant hell training. It's at a at an Olympic level. Most of these fighters are training so hard every day, maybe three training sessions, and why it's good for us to study fighters because they want to do every little thing to help them win. So they will get into their diet, they'll get into the people they're surrounding themselves with, and they are masters because martial arts is about finding the way, the best way to win a fight, to protect yourself, whatever. So change something and take this teaching from all the great people that we have around us, all these great humans, these great fighters. Fighting doesn't necessarily mean fighting with your hands. It can be these great business people. I hate to bring up Donald Trump, but I mean, he is a great fighter, you know, and he's gotten to that position through his fighting. I don't like the way he fights, and there's a lot that I can tell about a person by the way they fight. And I respect people based on how they fight, not whether they win or lose, but how they fight, how they conduct themselves. That's what's important to me, and I think also very important to a lot of people, as a lot of people are remembered throughout history for the way that they do things. And Donald Trump, I don't want to go on about him too long, but I don't like the way he fights. I think he's a cheater. He just lies, and we can all go out there and be successful if we just lie. Lying is easier. It's a cheat code. So change something. Change something. Write this down. Embed it in your head. You're already doing it unconsciously. Some people, they start doing counseling. They start seeing a therapist. That they've just changed something in their life. They've taken that step. A lot of people, I believe, I've been now coaching for the last 3.5 years professionally, right? Counseling people. I've seen so many different cases. I've worked with so many different people from all around the world. And I can tell you that I believe a lot of us who go through breakup or divorce, we have subconsciously done that as an excuse for ourselves to grow and to change. We sabotage, we break up. You may think that you got dumped or rejected or someone broke up with you, but you may not realize that maybe you created an environment, a relationship that you deep inside knew that it wouldn't last because you wanted to come out of it because something inside you needed to grow and evolve and change, and you felt that that wasn't happening in your current situation. So change something. This is extremely, extremely important. And excuse me while I pull up my post-it notes here, as I made some notes. And so, I work with a lot of different people who are experiencing different difficulties, and I work with people who have issues sleeping. That's a common one. And I used to have similar issues, but corrected them pretty quickly, knock on wood. And with sleeping issues, again, change something. If you're having difficulty sleeping, I mean, literally change something. Change your mattress. Change the side of the bed that you sleep on. If your head's on one side, well, move it to the other side. Change your bed stuff. The blanket, the lining. Go get some new looks, new colors, new things. Get a whole new bed even. Change the room that you're sleeping in. Change the house that you're sleeping in. Change the city, the country. So you're probably thinking, well, I can't change the country, but then some of you are thinking, well, hey, some of us are more able to to make more changes than others. But it doesn't matter. You can make little changes or you can make big changes. If you're more able to make the bigger changes, good for you. If you're able to change your house, change the room, change the city, good for you. Remember, we're not trees. We have legs, we can move around, we have clever minds, we can change our environment. And changing something or changing our environment in some way, whether it's the food we're eating, the people we're interacting with, the gyms we go to, our job, you know, whatever it is, if we're able to change our environment, changing our environment will help us see things in a different way. It will change our perspective. Now, a lot of us might think there's this notion, especially let's call it in the spiritual community, that, you know, you should accept, and life is full of difficulty, and it's important to know how to, you know, adapt and process. And yes, I agree, of course. But if you're sitting on a chair and someone's hitting you, it's all fair to be this Buddhist monk and be like, I accept this pain and suffering, but I'm putting myself out of my body, and I'm not. You know, that's amazing if you can do that, but it's not necessary. Like, you can use your mind and be clever and get up and move, change your environment. Okay, so this example applies to everything in life. If you're experiencing difficulty and irritation, something, whether it's foods you're eating or the air you're breathing. You know, I lived in LA for many years, had no idea that air was something that to consider in my life until I lived in LA. After many years living there and visiting family outside of LA, and every time I'd visit, I'd notice, wow, the air outside of LA is so sweet and delicious. And I realized actually it was the air in LA that was so terrible. And then it just opened my mind that I'm breathing in just bad air every day. Just all these fumes and exhausts and terrible, like from the factories and the cars. And then I made the decision that it was important to me, important enough that I changed my environment. I'm not a tree, I'm not planted in the ground, so I changed something huge and I moved out, and air was an important thing to me. Like, I wanted to move somewhere that had clean air, right? But there's many ways to handle a situation like that. You don't have to move. Like, if you're not able to move like I was, well, then there's other things that you can do. I'm not going to go into them. It's endless, right? But going back to, you know, not being able to move, or, you know, I want to touch on a couple of things. So, changing your environment, as I said, is important. For insomnia, as I said, you know, change something. You know, just change something. Let's go back to the MMA fighters, because this is like incredibly fascinating to me when I see like people that are on a losing streak and then they just change something and they are suddenly on a winning streak. Because psychologically, you know, we're giving ourselves that excuse, that reason that, hey, I changed something, so now I give myself permission to be better. It's just like this mathematical calculation in our mind takes place where I'm like, well, this changed, so then this will change. And it's a correct calculation, because life for us is like we're on this trajectory. It's like a ball that's being thrown in the air. And we can alter that trajectory by altering what's going on in our life experience. If you eat different foods, it's going to affect your life trajectory. It's going to affect everything. If you go to different supermarkets, you may bump into different people. You're going to take a different road to get to that supermarket. It's going to create thousands, if not millions, of different changes in your life trajectory. Even a 1% or a tiny shift in your life trajectory can have a huge impact on your end goal, on where you're going to go. Imagine that a ship in the ocean just alters its course just a little bit. The final destination can be huge, right? Even though it's not noticeable, right? So there's no question about it that any adjustments you make in your life are going to affect your future, the outcome of your life. So your job is basically every day to be assessing everything that's in your life, and you don't have to do this, but you're going to do it anyway, subconsciously or consciously. And either way, like I don't think one is really better than the other. Like I think we're all gonna wake up at some point from enough pain and banging our heads in the wall. Everyone will wake up at some point and become more conscious. Not everyone does, actually, to be fair, but most people we do, especially in our day and age. So just be aware that consciously or whether you're conscious or unconscious of it, that every little tiny detail, is going to affect your life. And your job is to try to be aware of what's going on and how are those things affecting you. Are they serving you? Are they not serving you? Well, for those of you who are new to this channel, I know a lot of you who have been watching know when I say serving and not serving what that means, but just to go over it again, when something serves you, it energizes you, it uplifts you, it strengthens you, it motivates you, it inspires you, it improves your health, it improves your life. I'm not going to say it makes you happier, because there's a lot of things. Happiness is something that's very confusing for a lot of people. Like heroin can make you happy, or sex can make you happy, but they may not be making your life better, right? So what serves you is what improves your life, makes you stronger, healthier in your mind, in your body, right? And the things that don't serve you, obviously, are the things that are bringing your health down, your energy down. Usually we suffer, I'm going to make a video dedicated to this. We suffer really because of energy. Like, we feel good when we feel energized, and we feel down when we don't have energy. And our energy, as I've talked about in a lot of my other videos, is linked to our attention. What our attention is usually how we channel our energy. So when we're like constantly, let's say, on a dating app, or on porn sites, or giving attention away to other people, and we feel drained, and we don't feel good. It's when we feel that just don't feel so good, just feel. It's because our energy is depleted, and it's usually like when our energy levels come up again and we feel happy again, that we feel good, right? So being very careful of how we spend our energy, and that's linked to what we put our attention on, right? Our attention is like the hose pipe, and the water is the energy, right? So knowing this, then you can select. Like in nutrition, one of the first things that a great nutritionist who will try to identify people's issues will say is, hey, go back to like just have water and just simple foods. Just have water, apple, banana, just to start with. And then what we're going to do is we're going to add things into your diet. And this is a very simple but powerful technique that I use, not just for nutrition. I do use it for nutrition, but I use it for everything in life. And I use this in my coaching sessions with people. Why is this such a great and powerful technique? Because they are trying to identify the foods that their clients are consuming that are creating issues. You might have allergies to certain foods, or certain foods will make you sick and ill. So then they start off very simple with water, eat a banana, an apple, for a few days, and then they'll bring in things. And then one by one, they'll filter in, now have this, now have avocados, and then see, how do you feel for a couple of weeks? You still feel good? Okay, now bring this in, now bring this in, until they bring something in that creates that inflammation or the stomach ache or headaches, and then they will be able to identify. Now you can imagine that how complex this is. That there's so many things we're consuming every day. How do you identify them? Wow, this takes a lot of work. And yes, of course, it does take a lot of work. So continuous improvement, this path that I am on, that many of you out there are on, this path of continuously improving, this is one of the most powerful, useful techniques to help you in continuously improving. And it's what martial artists, fighters use to improve their fighting. They will analyze everything in their life, from their food down to their friends, their family, and they're brutal with it. They will remove themselves or distance themselves from the things that are not serving them, and then they will move closer and connect more with the things that are serving them, right? So here I have it down in my notes. Change something. That means either stopping or reducing something or some things, or it means starting or increasing certain things, right? So that's what change something means. Change something means start something different or stop something that you've been doing. Now, I don't want to, it's not black and white. We don't have to like start and stop. It can be, as I said, increase or decrease. A lot of people, they go a bit overboard with this and they start cutting things out. Cutting out their friends, cutting out their relationships. You don't have to do that. Just distance yourself from things that are not serving you, and you'll figure out a good balance. Maybe you're supposed to talk to this person once a month or once every 2 weeks, right? So it doesn't necessarily mean cutting things out of your life. It just means, as I said, finding that balance, right? So I think that covers pretty much, this is a huge topic. It can go on for hours, this is a huge topic, but I think I've covered the most important points here, and I want to end it with one of my favorite quotes. It's by the French author Marcel Proust, and he said, "The real voyage of discovery consists not in seeing new sights, but in looking with new eyes." And it's a very powerful quote. It basically, it will mean something different to everyone. What it means to me, obviously, is that you don't have to travel the whole world. You don't have to go here and there. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, but you don't have to do that to see things differently. It's all in your head, right? It's all the way you view things. It's all about your belief systems. It's all about the thoughts you're having. And I think it's a beautiful quote, but doesn't mean that we have to follow it like that. Remember, we're not trees. We can walk around and we can change our environment. And changing our environment in some way will change how we see the world as well. So I hope this video helps, and to those of you who have been signing up, the new signups to my Patreon page, I really cannot thank you enough. I'm so grateful, and just humbled by it that you guys will support and have been supporting. And I just hope there's something in here that helps. At the end of the day, please remember that there's plenty of knowledge out there, and so many of us know a lot but aren't applying any of it. It's no good reading a whole book on how to train and become, shredded and have the best body and abs, and know how to do push-ups and know how to do pull-ups and learn about all these exercises if you're not actually doing any of them, right? So it's better that you know one thing and you're applying it than to know 1,000 things and to be applying none of them, right? Or a better way to put it, it's better to know 10 things and be applying 5 than to know 100 things and to be applying only 2, right? So, or one more for you from the fighting world that I love, which is, it's, I think, could be Bruce Lee who said it, someone said it, but fear not the man who knows 1,000 kicks, but fear the man who knows one kick, who's practiced it 1,000 times, right? So rather than high kick, low kick, middle kick, front kick, all this, like some people, they know all these different kicks and they've practiced them all just a little bit, whereas you'll have one guy or one girl who just has been training one kick 1,000 times. And it's true. You'll see it now in fighting. You'll see it in the UFC. You'll see people have one incredible low kick and they're just brutal with it, chopping people down with it, right? So cheers. Many of you have been asking for videos on nutrition and stuff. I don't do that because there's plenty, I believe, videos out there already that cover that. But yeah, if you're interested in what I have in here, it's very simple. I stick to just kale and celery and apples, banana, ginger, and the base is just I buy some organic juice and I water it down until I'm happy with the sweetness. And that's about it. The most important thing in here for me is the kale. Broccoli sprouts are amazing too. Throw them in there, and carrots are amazing. I mean, just it's all good. So if mix it to your best ability. It's better to do this than to not. So better to have a little bit, and so if you're just putting kale, that's fine. Okay, do it so that you're happy with how it tastes. And it makes a huge difference too in your life because being healthier in your body. Was talking to someone not so long ago, just a few days ago, having issues with their sex drive. She's having difficulty with that, and the first things I was asking her is like, how stressed out are you? Because at the end of the day, everyone's got all these different issues, but they don't realize how much of it can be solved with just being healthier. Whether it's sleep or sex drive or whatever, or anxiety, a lot of it can be helped with just making your body healthier, because this is your vehicle in life. And it's like a car. If you're putting bad fuel into it and you're not changing the oil and you're not taking it to the repair shop, it's going to start breaking down and the ride is not going to be as fun and as smooth. And I'm doing this not to live longer. I could, God forbid, tomorrow could be my last day on this earth. This isn't to live longer. This is so that I enjoy my ride better, so I can enjoy every day better, so I'm more able, so I feel better, so I'm just more energized. That's what this is for. So I'm less anxious, less depressed, because I'm just like everybody out there, just like all of you. I could easily be depressed tomorrow, go into anxiety again tomorrow, be stressed out, but I'm keep taking care of myself the best I can. Like I said, not so that I live forever, but just so that I can enjoy every moment more, right? So it's worth getting into step by step. It took me a long time, so I've done it step by step. And it's just worth it. So figure out for you like what are the steps you can take to just making your life healthier. At the end of the day, the most important is up here in your brain, in your mind, the way you think about things. And more videos going up on my Patreon page. And for those of you who have made it this far into this video, I would like to thank, we've got now over 10,000 subscribers, which is just amazing. And I would like to ask you guys, like, If anyone has made it this far, maybe I should put this in another video, but go ahead and ask me any question you want, and I'll make a video on it next. And the comment with the most likes will be the question that I will answer. Okay? So